Magic Man, how's it feel?
Feels good. Feels good. I think you reach the ultimate high winning the Olympics, lifelong dream, and the World Championships being so close together. It's a very difficult time, and I'm a competitor. I wanted to compete, but I just didn't want to train between the Olympics and World Championships. So I think you get guys really hungry, and I lost, and it's just like it stings. You reach your goal, and you go there, and World Tour medal is great, but under my standard. I'm not doing this for silver or bronze or participation trophies. At this point in my career, I want to win, and still being that close. And so that eats at me. Being on a single leg up in the air and not finishing, that's really frustrating. I come back, take some time off, and really start to wonder, hey, honestly, truthfully, am I going to be done? But definitely don't want to end on a loss. I love wrestling. I love to train. It's pretty amazing. Just the gift that I've been given to obviously further my career, help my family, and make impact on other people. And then to be 2 years away from another opportunity to win a gold medal, that's what it's about. So, getting into this training was difficult again. And, because you're what's your why? You've done your whole life. It was when things are hard, I'm I want to be an Olympic champion. I want to be an Olympic champion. I'm going to get this extra rep. I want to be an Olympic champion. And then you're done. Well, I won the Olympics. What? Man, do I really want to do this extra rep? And I think it was just really a conversation with my wife. And this was probably 6-7 weeks ago. And she's just we had a pretty emotional conversation. And she's just I just want you to win. Quit focusing on doing this other crap. Just I want you to win. And I think hearing her say that just lit upstairs. All right, we're back. We're doing this together. It's a team effort. And the last 6 weeks has been amazing. And I feel I really got that hunger back. And I think you see it out there. I think I haven't wrestled in a long time. That first match, not that Valencia really did much. He scored a shot clock point and a questionable push out. And that second period, I started getting back in the groove of things. And that second match, that's me. And I think that's the sign of the world that I'm back. And I'm hungry because I lost. And I want to frickin' win again. So, now I got 3 months to get ready to go. And there's no secret. That's Yazdani. So he keeps me hungry. And I definitely don't want to lose him again. He's a very tough competitor. And we're going to battle again in 3 months. Looking forward to that in Serbia.
Seems like you had a little bit of frustrating with the officiating in the first match. Kind of made that match harder than what it should have been.
I think you go on the clock in the first period, not a lot of urgency. It's not really a huge deal, but given that step out, that's just probably poor decision making on my end. He did a good job, kind of scooting around and trying to play the edge, and I just kind of got a little careless on the edge. However, he definitely went out of bounds, and to not let us challenge that, I think is kind of crap. I feel like I've definitely earned the right to get that challenge. The referee was standing behind me, blowing the whistle. I didn't even really know what was going on, but that's you expect that going to competition. And he's a great competitor. He's hungry. That's a guy I'm battling in the next couple of years to achieve my goal. So, I picked it up in the second period. And sometimes you just gotta go get that takedown. And I knew in this period, go getting that early takedown opened it up, and that's what I was able to do. And
then your M2 training center, renting a charter bus to come up and support you, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. I kind of had the choice between Stillwater and New York City, and obviously each one has pros and cons, but to be close to my friends and family and from my club, just having amazing parents. One of the kids, Dalton Perry, his dad, DJ, helps me with a lot of things logistically in the club, and he's like, hey, can we get a charter? And it really is just DJ and Brad Pataki, one of our coaches. I'm like, I don't know, let's just check it out. And he gave us charter. It was an amazing price. And we'll come up here and spend the day, get a block of tickets. That's a very memorable experience, but we 55 seats and we sold all 55 to come up here and watch, so that's pretty special. I think at the MP Training Center to have a coaches that are involved at high level, Mark and Brad and myself, but the things that we talk about in practice, that's what I'm implementing it. That's what I'm doing out there. The situational wrestling, the choosing when to score, the wrestling, the head and hands defense, that's stuff I talk to them about. So they're not just I don't know, maybe this will work. Maybe they're seeing it work at the highest level, and obviously it's a really special thing of a thinner place in my heart for the club, and it's made a huge impact on me, and equally as much as I've made an impact on them.
Implementing the things that you implement, you get the Yazdani guy so tired because you wrestle so hard and you wrestle in David's positions and not letting him club you, underhook you, push you to the edge, or he does that 2 or 3 times and he gets tuckered out. How do you get that guy so tired that you are able to get him in the Olympic finals with 15 seconds left and run him down with a double leg? You double leg nobody.
Right.
You ran the guy down with a double
credit.
leg.
Right.
Right.
A little credit on my technique. It's pretty solid. But I think, just anyone that wrestles me, anyone, they're on threat the entire time. they're on threat the whole time. So that's just a challenge that I've had since a young age, is how do you continue to open people up? And Yazdani, he's made changes. Early on it was, let's go wrestle me. In the Olympics, they had 3 years game plan for that match, and they had a good game plan. It lasted to the very end, and it was very difficult. And then this last one, I didn't have that pop and fire and excitement to go get that takedown I needed, and he controlled me a lot more than any other matches. So he's done a good job making adjustments. And now I have to make adjustments. And that's just the beauty of a rivalry at that level of two of the best guys in the world, pound for pound. And it's just micro adjustments, not changing the world, but one thing. I just want to make people wrestle in my position. When that happens, lots of points get scored, and that favors me.
You missed a foot sweep when you had the leg up there. I thought it was like Andy and I were just talking about it. It was a fluky thing.
Yeah.
You alluded to it earlier. It was like, that was the difference in the match. You get that, it's over.
Right.
You win the world title. I thought you looked pretty good in the match.
Yeah, I think, the difference in living that lifestyle that I live to be the best is it's all in. And just between the worlds, the Olympics and the worlds, it wasn't there. That fire wasn't there, and I'm in on that takedown, and I was tired from the first whistle, and I just, I pride myself on having good technique, and in that moment, I kind of didn't have good technique, and it sucks losing a match like that, and I had chances to do it, but now I have the opportunity to go fix that and finish correctly and get to that leg, and it's going to be a battle. There's no taking anything for granted or lightly. He's hungry, but now I'm really hungry, so it's going to be a battle. I'm looking forward to that.
That conversation with your wife, what did that open your eyes to?
I think, being 31 years old and I've achieved everything I wanted to achieve in the sport of wrestling. I take that back. I wanted to win 4 national championships, and I didn't do that, but I was pretty close. And, I think she just kind of sees that, like, dude, this is a big burden on our family. Like, when you're training and you're recovering and all the things that it takes to be successful at your level, at your age, you're taking away from time. If you're not present with our family, then what are you doing this for? And I just like, yeah, you're right. It's not a one-man team; it's a team of both of us, and we got 2 young kids. And I think ultimately, I want to continue to set myself up for my future. When I am done wrestling and getting caught up in those opportunities as well. So, ultimately, like, winning is hard. I have a small window of 3 more years to get the most out of what I can do. And the world, everything can wait. I've been very blessed to have a lot of great things set up in our lives. So now, I just think it was like one of those Rocky win moments. So I told her, I'm like, babe, we had a Rocky win moment. And then she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you're telling me to go do it. And that lit a little fire in my ass that I needed. And then I had really productive training. And so, yeah, she's why I do what I do and why I can do what I do, because she picks up all the slack. And, really grateful for her.
Now, you talked a little bit about the step out, the officiating, but the rules themselves have changed in the course of your career. Does that have any effect on your thinking, or?
Well, I remember the day that they changed from the 2 out of 3 periods to the match. I remember waking up that day with a handful of texts like, hey, how does it feel to wake up and now know that you can be the best in the world and the rules favor you? And I remember those texts. And at the time, I wasn't there. I wasn't the best in the world, but I think it gave me a little hope. That 2 out of 3 periods was it was leading me down a not productive path. I was just trying to find ways to win matches, and as we talked about, that's not what I do. Now, in these rules, you're rewarded. You put the time and effort into scoring points, you go get off the mat. And so, yeah, I think the rules have changed for the better. I feel like the best guy wins almost every time the matches are out there, and I tell my kids all the time, like, you can't rely on little things. You got to go take control. But in that match, things weren't really going probably the way I thought they would, and you just got to get your hands locked and finish a takedown and then open it up, and I've been gifted a lot of offensive opportunities, so I just got to make the most of those.
Beat the Streets is a organization to develop youth in the city of New York. You came here before as an exhibition. You tear your ACL on the same stage.
Right.
Was that in your mind at all to come back here?
I think early on in that first period, I just was like, hey, let's build in this match. He's a flurry guy, and that's what happened when I wrestled Drew Foster. I got caught up in the early flurry thing. I was going to cradle him and pin him in front of everybody and go crazy, and got in a scramble, and I tore my knee, and it's just a really tough learning experience. So there, I'd say, let's build as the match goes. Let's really focus on control, and I really controlled every single situation of those matches. So it's I have the ability to score a lot of points, but I also have the ability to not let guys score points. I think that's something I've had some evolution in my career as I've gotten older.